Good evening. It is the 8th of December, 2025. Hello again. For those of you who have never seen one of my videos, my name is Coco. Heaven calls me General. I've been given the divine commission and the mantle to carry as the General of the End Times Remnant. I had a near-death experience back in 2022, and Yeshua HaMashiach, the world's Jesus, gave me a heavenly assignment upon my return. It's about 5:32 Central Standard Time here in the United States. I wanted to bring this to you this evening. I already issued one word this morning, but I thought that this was very important. One of the wonderful things about me being able to hear from Yeshua HaMashiach in real time is that on occasion, on a rare occasion, Yeshua will start speaking when one of my children asks me a question. Well, this afternoon, after my children got in from school, my youngest, he's 10. His name is Stetson. And as many of you know that follow me, I had 8 children. I've got 3 that are grown, 4 grandchildren, and I still have 5 that live here with me. And there are several of my children that are especially sweet in their spirit, in their soul, and ask me a lot of questions. Well, my son Stetson came in from school today, and he said, Mom, he said, what makes a person become bad? And as soon as he asked me that question, Yeshua started speaking to me. And he wanted to give me the answer to speak to Stetson. And then when he was finished speaking to me, he told me, now, daughter, you can also share this with my remnant. And that was not only a teachable moment for my household, but for anyone who might be listening to the sound of my voice this evening. So the title of this word is Why Some Become Bad and Others Do Not. Yeshua said this. He said, children often ask the questions adults are too proud to speak aloud. Stetson asked one of the deepest questions of the age. What makes a person become bad? Heaven listens when children speak because they still carry the simplicity of truth. They have not yet learned to lie to themselves. Hear the word of the Lord. No one is born evil. Every soul is born with a measure of light. Every soul is born with a choice. Evil is not inherited in the cradle. It is chosen over time by the posture of a heart that will not bow. A person becomes bad when they reject the light that was offered to them. Every temptation is a crossroads. Every whisper from darkness is an invitation that must be accepted or declined. A person becomes bad by small agreements that snowball into a lifetime of rebellion. Some become bad because they were wounded and never healed. Wounds create openings. Openings invite spirits that do not belong. Hurt that is not surrendered becomes bitterness. Bitterness becomes hardness. Hardness becomes cruelty. Cruelty becomes bondage. Bondage becomes identity. This is how the enemy forges a weapon out of a wounded child. Others become bad because they love the darkness more than the light. They tasted both. They knew the difference. They preferred what fed the flesh rather than what freed the soul. Some become bad because pride tells them they do not need God. Pride is the mother of rebellion. Pride is the father of destruction. Pride blinds them to the cliff until they are already falling. But hear me clearly, no one becomes bad overnight. It is the accumulation of 1,000 ignored warnings, 1,000 nudges resisted, 1,000 convictions silenced, 1,000 yeses to the enemy whispered in the secrecy of their own thoughts. The remnant must understand this. You are living in a generation where wickedness is celebrated as strength and righteousness is mocked as weakness. But I tell you the truth, a person becomes evil by choosing it. A person becomes righteous by choosing me. The world will call evil good and good evil, but I will judge every choice. Tell the remnant to guard their agreements, to guard their gates, to guard their hearts. For the war over a soul is fought one yes at a time. And tell the children, like Stetson, that God never makes bad people, but people can choose to become what God never intended. Yet even then, I stand at the door and knock. Light will still reach for them until their final breath, because mercy is the language of my throne. But if they persist in their rebellion, if they cling to the darkness, they will become what they serve. And that is the tragedy of the wicked. You, remnant, choose differently. You choose the narrow road. You choose obedience. You choose the light. This is why you are sealed. This is why you are marked. This is why the enemy trembles when you rise. Teach this to your children. Teach it to your households. A soul becomes what it repeatedly agrees with. Let your agreement be with heaven. This is the word of the Lord, Yeshua HaMashiach. He said that twice today. I love you guys. I just wanted to share that with you this evening because I thought that was important. It was a learning lesson for one of my children, and I think that it's important even whenever I have these things occur in my own household for me to share them with you, because we are in a very dark hour in humanity, and people need to understand. People need to understand. And there might be someone in your household or your family or your friends, and you just don't understand why they continually are making the wrong choices. But that word explains it very well. And this world is full of wounded people. And all they have to do is surrender all of the hurt, all of the pain, and all of the trauma at the foot of the cross. And choose Yeshua. Choose Jesus. I love all of you. Have a wonderful evening.